What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at FansProject Function XV, M.A.D.L.A.W. Now, M.A.D.L.A.W, it is actually an acronym for his 6 different forms, and we'll get into that at the end of the video. But it's an interesting figure, especially if you consider what the actual name here means. But like I said, we'll get into that later. So let's go ahead and do a close-up look at the figure. M.A.D.L.A.W is definitely a not quick switch figure. And he is a very good looking figure, well painted, and just looks good in robot mode. Comes with 4 different guns, 2 of which he is holding, 2 of which are able to be stored on his hips. And overall, I like the robot mode quite a bit, especially that face sculpt, or head sculpt. It's just a really nice looking head. It's quite good and very much resembles his original figure, especially in the coloring. It should have some light piping, but it actually doesn't, even though it looks like it's supposed to there with that switch. But that switch does a very important thing. It deploys his visor. Yeah, it looks like it's going to do a lot more, but I don't think the visor is necessary, but it is a nice addition. As I mentioned, he comes with 2 very, very large guns as an homage to his original G1 counterpart. And then he comes with these 2 smaller guns, which can then be transformed slightly into more battle cannons or hand cannons that he can hold with no problem. He can hold both of them, in fact, or he can actually wield all 4, sort of. So what you could do is you could put 2 of them here on these pegs on his shoulders and then have him hold 2 others. It doesn't really work out all that well, but you could play around with it a little bit. I like the bigger guns just because they're so ginormous, they look silly. Giving you guys a quick 360-degree look at the figure, he is painted and formed very nicely, but he has a lot of baggage in the back. These are his beast mode parts of his face, which just kind of sit at the back of the figure. And he doesn't really have anything in the way of heels. They're parts of, again, the front beast claws or back beast claws that form his heels. So he does have a little bit of posability issues in this mode. Nothing crazy, but it is something to be aware of, especially if you're looking at buying this guy. The 6 modes are the Flight Airstrike mode, which is the Master of Metal, the Digger Dirt Driller mode, which is the Master of Earth, Laser Shot, the gun, is the Master of Fire, Aqua Force, the boat, is the Master of Water, and Wood Runner, the wolf, is the Master of Wood. And then finally we have this mode, Master V, or Master 5, I think it's Master V, the Vibrant Warrior. And so those are based off of the 5 kind of Buddhist... Those are based off of the 6 elements of Buddhist mythology, being spirit, metal, earth, fire, water, and wood, all balanced, all working harmoniously. That's pretty cool, but I have no idea what that has to do with a giant robot. Cool, like I said, but a bit silly. And speaking of posability, head is on a ball joint. You got a lot of good posability there. Shoulders are on this hinge that is supposed to ratchet but just doesn't. And then you have a swivel above the elbow, a double bend at the elbow. Fists do not move. Torso does spin, and it is on a light ratchet. You have a series of swivels here in the hips, a swivel just above or below the hip at the thigh, a way more than 90-degree bend at the knee, and then some minor foot articulation thanks to a ball joint. So you can get some decent poses out of this guy. Just again, be aware, he doesn't really have any heels or good heels to speak of. He just has lion paws. So now we're going to move into the transformation. To start off with, we're going to open up his chest here and fold the head down into the chest. So open it up, fold the head, and then close the chest and just get his head into his chest. Sometimes easier said than done. I like to turn the chest or the head around. That way it clears everything with no problems. Once we've got the head folded up, we take the arms and point them straight out like that. And then we're going to take the entire shoulder unit and ratchet it up so that the hinges that you saw before that were sticking out in front of what formed kind of his shoulder pecs are pointed towards up where his head was. And then we are going to take the arms, fold them forward, flip out the hinges, and then grab the arms again and fold them back as far as they will go. Then that will enable us to fold this entire section up and then combine the two beast heads. And this is a little bit kludgy. You are going to end up with a large gap here. Don't worry about it. All right, so the beast heads have been combined, and then we could take the treads on the back of the arms, open them up, and fold the fists up into those tread areas, and that will push the beast feet forward or down. Close those up, and turn the feet paws so that they're pointing towards the front of the beast head, and then take these green sections and fold them out like that. So we have the front of the beast form formed, or the front of the beast form transformed. And then we go in for the head. For the head, we're going to reach inside and flip up some ears like that, and then open up the mouth a little bit like that. And that's it. That's all we're going to do for the beast head. Form. Now at the front of the beast form, we're going to come to the back here. First reach underneath and the feet and flip out the beast paws. Then come to the legs and kind of next, coming to the back of the legs, we're going to flip out these cannons like that and push the feet up into what were the robot shins. Next, we're going to take the legs and turn them so that the back part of the legs are pointing towards the outside of the beast mode, and then fold that whole section in, do the same thing on the other side, and then turn it 180 degrees so that we have all of the legs pointing down. Then we could come to the back here and fold up what were the knee guards, and then get this little bit up and out of the way, and then bring the legs back together. We don't want to put them or push them together all the way. We want a little bit of clearance there. And then we want to be able to put the guns forward like this. So really what we want is more something along the lines like this, where there's some space back there. And that's pretty much it for the beast mode. The last thing you could do for the figure is to attach the guns to the little pegs that are on his upper back. And I have to admit, I don't like this mode. I do not like this mode at all. It's fiddly. It doesn't stay together well. It doesn't peg in a lot of places, and it doesn't look good. The proportions aren't right. Its rear legs are way too far apart from its front legs. The face of the robot dog face doesn't work for me. This mode just does not work for me. It might work for you, but for me, I do not care for it. Its name is Wood Runner, and its element is wood. I'm serious. That's its element. Now, each one of these modes is based on an element. Oh, man. Yeah, this is my least favorite of the modes. Just plain and simple. Just, I don't like this mode. I think it's a waste, really. But I understand why it's in here. I get what they're going for. I just don't like it. Next, we will go from this mode directly into another mode. So to start, close up the mouth, fold up the ears, spread the legs a little bit farther apart, and then take this section that looks like it's just sitting in the back of the figure and fold it down between its legs. And then when we do that, we can then bring the halves here together. You know what? I'm a dolt, because we're supposed to turn them first and then merge them together. That goes a lot easier. Take the guns and kind of flatten them out, and then we can fold the beast legs up like that. Now with this rear section combined, we could come up to the front and split the beast mode apart, or beast head apart. And this I'm always super creeped out by, because I feel like I'm going to break the accursed thing every time I transform him. Just these joints, or these pegs here, are so tight. I feel like I'm going to break it. It really does worry me. So once we do that, we can fold these out all the way like this. Reach in the back and flip up this big white piece. And this ratchet is incredibly tight. And that's really as far as it's going to want to go. Normally I will combine it to form the drill and then fold it all the way out like that. Then take this entire rear section and turn it 180 degrees around and have it just have the guns lay right across the back here. Take these sections and fold them down like that with still the arms pointing up. And then when this is done, we will ratchet them out all the way out like this. And then we could turn what were the front paws around 180. So they're pointing towards the front of whatever this is going to be. Spin these around and fold them up underneath what were the shoulders of the robot mode. Like that. And then swing these sections all the way down and bring these down. And last but not least, we can take the beast heads, flip them up, reach underneath, and fold out these wings. And we are done, save for adding some guns. This is M.A.D.L.A.W's flight mode called Air Striker with the element of metal. It's actually not a bad flight mode. It works well for the figure. I just wish it had a front landing gear of some sort. And the drill sticking off the back is a little bit silly, but oh well. I'd rather it be the drill than the unopened, untransformed part of the drill, because I think the drill just works better. It works better as like some kind of thruster. The guns don't go all the way down on my figure, unfortunately, but whatever. It still works. You can also put the guns up here. In fact, you could do something very, very silly with all 4 guns. So I guess anything worth doing is worth overdoing. This is just ridiculous. I love this. This is so silly, so stupid, but it works. This is actually a pretty neat little mode. Like I said, the only thing I wish it had was a landing gear. This white piece doesn't fold down far enough to perform that function. But oh well. It's still a pretty fun mode. I like it. Plus, you could do something like this, which is just silly. Now, going from Air Striker into its next form, first we're going to come out to the wings, fold the wingtips down, and then flip the beast heads back where they were. Come to the drill and fold that back to where it was. Open it up and then fold it flush up against this area. And when we do that, we'll just kind of open the front of the flight mode and just pull the legs forward, or what were the robot legs. So get that ratchet down and into place. Then come to the rest of the figure and fold the shoulder areas back up again and recombine the beast head. There's a reason for that, which we'll get into here in a little bit. Once we do that, we leave the arms where they were and then take the entire beast head section and fold that down thusly. And then we want to kind of fold these kind of back, and so they're pointing towards the back like that. So then we will come to the front of this mode and turn the legs around again, open the legs up and twist them such that the paws are facing towards the bottom. Oh, sorry, I accidentally turned this around when I really shouldn't have. So we want the little yellow piece to be sticking straight up, then turn it so that the paws are facing towards the ground, and come and combine those up. But before you do that, take these kneecap sections and point them out, and then combine these sections together, and then drop them back into this little channel right there, and fold the beast feet up like that. And then you could do whatever you want with the guns, but they really should peg into the sides here. And then we have the laser cannon mode, which we'll add the guns here in just a second. This mode is known as laser shot, and it uses the element of fire because lasers. Lots of barrels in the front, lots of guns, a little sight up here, and I forgot one little transformation. Flip out the trigger. So we have this little gun, or this gun mode, which works really well. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised with it. It is a little bit finicky and fiddly, but especially right here where the handguard is, but I could deal with that. It's not that big a deal. You can also attach the giant guns to either the back here or the front where the feet are, but they do have a tendency to droop. So normally if I'm going to have them, I just put them back here for maximum silliness, because I can. So that is the laser shot laser cannon mode. Pew, pew, pew. Next up, we're going to take the hilt or guard or handle, fold that up, take the front of the laser gun and fold that in, and then split the legs open again and fold them all the way out like that. Then take the cannons here, turn them around, and fold them into the backs of what were the robot legs. So do that on the other side, and when you do that, the feet have a tendency to come out as well. But we want those to stay up against what were the shins. Then turn the sections so that the paws are facing up, and then combine them like that. Now we'll come to the front, split the head open again, and turn the arms so that the paws are facing up, and you could fold out these sections. Then we'll take the paw legs and flip them up and around those sides like that. So now that you've got this section turned down, what we're going to do is grab the drill and flip it forward, combine the drill, and then leave it like that, and then put it or deploy it all the way. Take the legs, turn them 360 degrees like so. Next, we're going to take the arm sections and fold out the paws, and then flip the green sections back to form the, well, treads. If you haven't guessed, we're making a tank mode. And then this little peg will actually peg into the screw hole of the jaw. So that'll hold there nice and tight. So we'll do that here on the other side. Flip that out, fold that in, and then get that pegged into the jaw area, or that little pinhole where the jaw is. Just getting things lined up on this figure sometimes is a bit of a pain. And I transformed something incorrectly, sorry. So what we want to do is actually have it so that there are these pegs right here. There are little peg holes right where the laser cannons are, and they'll peg in up there. So that's what we're trying to do here. That's actually kind of the hardest thing to do. Let's get that lined up. And then we could come back and bring these treads back and fold this whole section, the yellow section, up. Fold in the paws like so. And then we can attach the cannons and we'll be done. As drill tanks go, this is actually really neat. I like this little drill tank. It's not practical, mind you, but I like it. It works for me. It's a cute little drill tank mode that's just fun, and actually I kind of pose him in this mode and the water mode and the robot mode most of all. It's one of my favorite modes from the whole figure, so definitely props on it. I like the way it looks. And plus, you can load this guy up in different configurations with the guns. I'll show you. If I'm honest, I think this is the best use of the giant cannons. It just works well in this mode, or works the best in this mode, other than the robot mode, of course. So yeah, you've got a lot of options here. You've got up and down movement here on the top. Then you've got the forward guns that have side-to-side movement. Very practical, very deadly, very cool. Finally, moving on to our last mode is the water mode. Fold the top of the tank back and open up the legs, and then swing the legs down, or the tank parts down, like that. Open them up so that the little yellow piece folds out, and then they will peg onto it will peg onto the inside of the legs, which sometimes is easier said than done. All right, there we go, got it. And then we can combine the parts together, flip out the paws. I just like to flip them out to get them out of the way. Reach underneath and take the feet, fold them out and then flip them around to form a flat base like that. And next we will take the arms, and these will fold back in, peg into place up here, and peg into place on the hips, like that. Then take the paws, and we will collapse them into the upper arms once again, like that. And then reaching around to the back or to the bottom, this is where we want to kind of fold out the paws and flip these sections up and into place on, oops, I had that backwards, whoops. Turn them around and then fold them up. And then just get everything pegged back into place and fold the paws in. And here we have the last mode, otherwise known as Aqua Force. Its element is water. Could you guess that? Actually, this, along with Dirt Driller, is my favorite mode. I like this mode a lot. I think it works really well. It's my favorite mode next to the Dirt Driller. It's compact and it looks cool. And I can actually see this on the water. Kind of scary that it would be on the water, but I could see it. The guns actually fit into 2 peg holes at angles, so it looks a little weird with the peg holes, and I can't seem to center it on my stand here. Sorry about that. It's a neat mode. I like the mode. It's just a little bit bonkers. Now, you can only fit 1 of the big guns on here or you might be able to do 2, but there would be really no place for these guys. So let's do 1 first. We'll put it in that hole right there at the top if it'll fit. I think, nope, it won't fit. That's a screw hole. Darn it. Okay, let me fiddle with it a bit. So you can't fit one of the big guns in that hole in the top center of it, what would be the robot's abdomen. And that looks ridiculous, but it also looks like a giant sail. So I'm okay with that. It looks so silly. Big one. You can then put the big ones in the same holes as the little ones, and that looks even sillier, if I'm honest. I kind of dig it, though. I was trying to get these little ones pegged in somewhere else. You can fit one of the little ones up here as just something silly. I actually like the 3 attack pattern that way. I was also looking for some way to put the big ones and peg them in on the side, maybe, or even peg the little ones in on the side. But unfortunately, no dice, and they're too big to fit on these holes as well. So, I guess I might be able to put 1 pegged in here. Nah. I'll just go with this. That works. It's silly. It's pretty cool. Overall, M.A.D.L.A.W is a pretty neat figure. It's by no means perfect. There are a few bits that I really do have a problem with, especially the beast mode, which I absolutely hate compared to the other modes. All the other modes are fine, except for that beast mode just doesn't do anything for me, and I don't think it works well at all. But all the other modes work just fine. And I kind of had the same feeling with the original Quick Switch figure as well. The beast mode I thought was the weakest out of all the modes. I like this figure, I do, but I'm not gaga over it, if that makes any sense. I'm not like over the moon with it. It's a solid third-party figure, but only get it if it's something that you have to have. It's not really worth, getting all hyped up about and just bowling over and running over to different sites to find it. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just feel myself falling out of love with FansProject figures. Now, I've had this guy for a while, and I just haven't been able to get around to doing a full review like I'm doing now. And I think that was partially because 1, time, and 2, I just wasn't looking forward to transforming him on camera. It's not exactly a fun figure to transform. And that's something I'm having a real issue with a lot of these third-party figures. Yeah, their robot modes might be fun and cool and stuff, but transforming some of these guys has been just maddening. Now, the first time I did the transformations, my fingers really hurt because the figure was incredibly tight. I mean incredibly tight on all of his joints. But thankfully he's loosened up over the past couple of months, and I finally just had time to give him a good solid review for you guys. The other issue I have with the figure is just this backpack. There's nowhere to really put this stuff, so you just kind of have to leave it off. Overall, as I said, he's not a bad figure at all. I'm just not smitten with him. So there's that, and let's face it, I think FansProject, as I said, I'm falling out of favor with them. I think FansProject is just kind of going in a direction that I don't particularly like, even though I am picking up a couple of their figures. I absolutely hate their Dinobot sets. I love their Lio Kaiser set, the guys from Victory, Dino Each and Dino Knee and Dino Each I've already reviewed, so I'll be getting that set. M.A.D.L.A.W, he's okay, not my favorite. And then other than that, I'm not really thrilled with the core units either. I've reviewed a couple of them, but I'm not going to be getting any more. So, gang, at the end of the day, only pick this one up if you absolutely have to have him, and get him on sale. Don't pay full price, just get him on sale. So, gang, as always, I am Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the review, give me a thumbs down if you didn't, and as usual, I will catch you next time.